Okay, how are you? So far, so good. There's Shay. Hi. There's that. Also, this is great.
Please rise for the invocation. In the creation story of the Hebrew Bible, God speaks and the world comes into being. Words have power to create. Language can build worlds. These past years and summers, you have immersed yourselves in words, in the creative act of thinking, writing, speaking, and teaching in a different tongue. Now we are gathered in this hall, all of us a testament to the beauty of pluralism, celebrating our different languages and cultures together. May the spirit of creation and the power of words be with us today. May we carry it forth into our work and play in our home communities. These past years, indeed, you have created worlds.
Welcome all. It is my legal obligation to remind you of the concert hall exits located at the front and the rear. Please use your mobile devices only for photography and put them on silent mode. Thank you.
Graduates, faculty, friends, I'm honored to be here at the Language School's commencement. I'm Lori Patton, the president of Middlebury. Before we begin official proceedings, we have a special moment to celebrate two exemplary citizens of the language schools. Kevin Parizzo. Kevin, who has played the organ and piano at college events for many years, who is in fact playing for us this afternoon, was surprised to get a phone call with the news recently that he will be receiving a papal honor from Pope Francis, the Benemerenti Medal. This medal is in recognition of his service to God, church, and community. Kevin will be presented this prestigious medal by Bishop Coyne during the September 22nd Mass at St. Mary's here at Middlebury. If you happen to be in the area, you can't leave us just yet. I hope that you can attend the Mass and share your support for all that Kevin has done for our community. Please join me in congratulating Kevin. It's also now my privilege to recognize an exceptional member of the language schools who will be receiving the Virtue Family Exceptional Service Award. This award was created just in 2017 by Ted and Danny Shaw Virtue, both class of 1982, and is given each year to a select few faculty and staff who have been nominated by their colleagues and chosen by committee. Our award winners have all gone above and beyond their normal professional responsibilities to support and connect with students in ways that build a more engaged and inclusive Middlebury. Today, we are honoring someone who doesn't know it, who has embodied the concept of going above and beyond throughout her career in the language schools. According to colleagues, this person is a pillar of the language schools community, someone who not only profoundly impacts the school, but also all the students who call it their own. As the first point of contact for nearly every student, this year's award winner ensures that every student, faculty, staff, and assistant has the best possible experience, even when doing so is not easy or convenient. With an indefatigable sense of service, care, unflappable optimism, and love of students, plus an ever-present smile, our honoree strives to make everyone's work easier while doing her own excellent work. This past year, she proved critical to the success of the School of French. Thanks to her unwavering dedication during a time of leadership transition, she stepped in to temporarily fill not just the assistant director, but also the director roles. Once these positions were staffed, she then mentored the appointees and new staff to ensure the school would run as smoothly as possible. She made it so easy for everyone to work in the best possible conditions that this year's challenges were almost imperceptible. That is the way Middlebury rolls. We can think of no more fitting way to share our appreciation of all that she does than to honor Sheila Schwaneflügel, Assistant Director. I'll finish the sentence. Assistant Director of the Betty Ashbury Jones MA 86 School of French with this year's Virtue Family Award. I was just about to say I would like to ask Sheila to stand. Please join me in congratulating and thanking Sheila for her service once more. As I begin my remarks to you today, allow me to put Gamaliel Painter's cane into circulation among the graduates. Pass it among yourselves, and when the last person receives the cane, will you please return it to Provost Jeff Kaysen? It's kind of essential there. It has been left in a delivery van and a few other things, and we do really need it. When the cane is in circulation, let me tell you a brief story about Gamaliel Painter, the original owner of this walking stick. Painter was one of the visionaries who helped found Middlebury College more than 200 years ago. When he died in 1819, he left his estate to the college, and among the items he left was this cane, which he was often seen carrying as he walked his path around town and around campus. Over the years, Gamaliel Painter's cane has become a symbol of Middlebury, the college's mace carried by the president at all academic ceremonial occasions. It's an antique and both a well-traveled and well-handled cane. Incoming undergraduates pass the cane from student to student during first-year convocation. It also makes the trip with me to Monterey, California for the Middlebury Institute of International Studies commencement in May. Today, each of you will receive a replica of this cane, handcrafted here in Vermont, of New England beech and ash, to bring forth into your lives as Middlebury Language School graduates. These canes are symbols of the historical ties that connect us to this institution, the generosity that supports us, the route you walked that led you to this place today, and the lifelong relationship that has been established between you and your new alma mater. Alma mater, it's a Latin phrase, an allegorical one that literally means nourishing mother. I've now given you one more phrase in another language, one that is probably not new to you, although you may not have considered its literal meaning before. But what you have considered during the many glorious months that you have spent here is the meaning of many other words, phrases, and ideas. You've been thinking, dreaming, planning, joking, arguing, persuading, dancing, running, sighing, playing, hoping, and loving in a language other than English. That one too. I want to pause today on the word dreaming. Many people mark the moment that they have reached a new stage in language learning, the moment they have their first dream in that new language. Have you begun to dream in the second or third or fourth language that is now yours? Sometimes it's words, sometimes it's sentences, sometimes everyone else in the dream speaks that language, even if they don't in real life. I remember one early morning in Pune, India, a dream where my mother started to speak to me in Hindi. I knew I had begun to enter a new world with that dream. I must confess I got along with her better when we both spoke Hindi. And when I shared this experience with a friend whose first language was also English, he told me that he frequently had fantasy arguments with his father, which he always won in Hindi. I hope you have begun to dream in your new languages that we are celebrating today. I hope you have achieved that small milestone. But I want to also remind you that even when you couldn't speak a word of French or Russian or Portuguese or Spanish or Chinese or Japanese or Hebrew or German, you have always been dreaming in that language. Because learning a language is always a way of wanting to create something new. It is about desire for a new kind of human connection. Your wish to speak, to write in another, to read in another language is a longing for a new form of relationship. The wish to learn, I think, before any learning has taken place, is a kind of dreaming. In this light, I have been thinking about the film by Mexican director Ernesto Contreras, Sueño en otro idioma, I Dream in Another Language. Screened at the 2017 Sundance Festival, it's about a man who travels to a small village to interview the two men who are the last speakers of the language of Zicril. This is based on a true story, even though Zicril is a fictitious language. It doesn't exist in real life, but it is a story about the risk of language death. And given that every day now another language disappears and ceases to be spoken, it is a timely film. But there's an additional problem in this movie. The last two speakers of Zicril don't talk to each other and haven't for 40 years. So it's also a film about relationship death and its effect on language. The efforts of the young researcher to build bridges between the two people so that the languages can survive is an inversion of the usual situation where people try to build bridges in a language so that the people can survive and thrive. We have an entire scholarship, the Catherine Wasserman Davis Scholarship, that is founded upon this premise, that learning languages is the best way to build peace, and here at Middlebury we have been proving it for centuries. But the inversion of the usual situation in Sueño en otro idioma is instructive. It shows the deep, powerful, creative ways in which language doesn't just facilitate relationships, it can actually create and shape them. And a language's very survival depends upon our wanting to be in relationship in the first place. In the film, the men's broken hearts mean that the language itself won't survive. Their unwillingness to be in relationship means language death. You, on the other hand, over these past several summers, have been in intense relationship and focused on language life. One of the most powerful things I see at the beginning of the summer and throughout the many summers in which you have worked to earn your degree is the way in which people use their relationships to help each other remember vocabulary. At Middlebury in the summer, there are always people in groups on pathways searching for words. There's usually a pause, and a patience on the part of the listeners as people search for the word. And sometimes the others in the group chime in to help the student searching for the word. That searching for the word is the most exhausting part, where the mental effort comes in, but where the satisfaction is also greatest. It's the work of finding, through relationship, the word you know you remembered. This power of remembering in relationship is behind the experience that Marcel Proust had when he bit into his Madeleine biscuit and his childhood came flooding back. The power of relationship was the same thing that happened to me after being 8 years away from India and being afraid to speak Hindi even when I was learning it, and then coming back, meeting my old family and friends, and beginning to speak again. We know then that the power of the language pledge is the power of community. And you have your company now of patient listeners as you all search for words without embarrassment, but with enthusiasm, energy, and rigor. And I have noticed something more. You have not wanted to relinquish those relationships even after the language pledge has been lifted. I still see you, still walking around campus in groups, speaking your languages joyfully. So at this moment, I hope that the letters that are now written after your name on your new degrees might, of course, signal a new pedigree, but also a new possibility. You have become masters who know the fine and subtle art of learning and teaching from each other toward language life. You have been literally, from the Latin, called to teach. And you have shown the way to each other as you've learned. Congratulations, travelers. I'm not going to tell you how the movie Sueño en otro idioma ends, but I will say congratulations on dreaming in a new language, and even more importantly, on dreaming yourself into a new language. You have not only dreamt of new forms of expression, you have dreamt of new forms of human connection. And even as you might be speaking a well-established language spoken by millions, just by joining their ranks, you say that you create and support language diversity. Thank you then, most of all, for your willingness to be in relationship. I know that you will be helping so many others remember their words and remember themselves. You will create new communities, literally new forms of being in doing so. Yours is the work of healing that the world needs most today. My very best wishes to you, and congratulations.
President Patton, Trustees Russ Lang and Churchill Franklin, Provost Jeff Kaysen, Rabbi Stillman, Vice President Colleen Fitzpatrick, Executive Vice President David Provo, Mr. O'Dwyer, directors and former directors, faculty, staff, graduates, families, friends, and guests from town and the world over, welcome to the commencement of the 105th summer of the Middlebury Language Schools. And to this afternoon's graduates, I want to offer a special welcome. Today is the culmination of many years of hard work, and each of you deserves heartfelt congratulations from all of us. We are delighted to be gathered here in your honor to celebrate your achievements. There are numerous people who deserve thanks this afternoon, but first and foremost, I would like for all of us to acknowledge the people who have helped make the accomplishments we're about to celebrate possible. The parents, spouses, families, children, partners, and friends who have supported our graduates throughout their studies and throughout their lives. They are indispensable, and we should all thank them. There will be an official college photographer on hand who will take a picture of every graduate, but we invite you to take your own photographs at any time during this ceremony. I would like to extend a special word of thanks to Dr. Kevin Parizzo, who is our accompanist this evening, and thanks to the performers who opened the ceremony, as well as to Mark Christensen, the Concert Hall Technical Director. As always, our thanks go also to the members of the language school and college support staff. And this evening, I would like to offer special thanks to Elizabeth Carnes-Keefe, Associate Dean of the Language Schools, who is retiring in a few minutes after 33 years and 124 days in the language schools. This afternoon, we will be awarding 98 Master of Arts degrees and 4 doctoral degrees in modern languages, in addition to the 16 MA and 1 DML degrees that were awarded earlier this month at our Mills College campus in California. We are here to honor the efforts and achievements of our graduates. You have made the commitment necessary to attain advanced fluency and cultural understanding in your area of study, and beyond that, you have begun creating the knowledge in your chosen field that will nourish and support the next generation of learners. Whether you go on to careers in teaching, journalism, government, or any other field, you will be, and in many cases already are, leaders who will shape the future of our globe in the coming years. And we believe that your deep knowledge of other languages and peoples will allow you to lead in a more intelligent, open-minded, and humane fashion that would be possible without that knowledge. Knowledge you have gained through your demonstrable abilities and your sustained effort. We are deeply honored to have accompanied you on this journey and enormously proud of your accomplishments. It is now my privilege and a special honor to introduce this year's commencement speaker and honorary degree recipient, Brian O'Dwyer. In a very few minutes, 77 of you sitting here in the audience will share something in common with our speaker this afternoon. You, like Brian O'Dwyer, will be the holders of a master's degree from the Middlebury Language Schools. Mr. O'Dwyer received his master's in 1967 in the Spanish language literature from Middlebury, having studied for a summer here in Vermont and during the academic year at our school in Madrid. Since that time, he has pursued a highly successful legal career in New York with a practice focusing on immigration rights, labor relations, and disability rights, among other areas. A senior partner at O'Dwyer & Bernstein, he has the official designation of a New York super lawyer, a title I suspect he does not share with any of our soon-to-be graduates, at least not yet. Mr. O'Dwyer serves as a forceful and effective advocate for immigrant rights, both in the Irish and Irish-American communities and for the growing Mexican community in New York, at a time when such advocacy is perhaps more crucial than it has ever been. He has worked for equity and inclusivity in education and in the workplace, and he has received widespread recognition for these efforts, including from the state of New York and the White House. In 2011, then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton appointed Mr. O'Dwyer as Commissioner of the United States National Commission for UNESCO. But I suspect that the most delightful honor he has received is among the most recent. In the spring of this year, Mr. O'Dwyer was named Grand Marshal of the St. St. Patrick's Day Parade for 2019, becoming the third member of his family to serve in that role following his father and uncle. We are pleased and honored to have an illustrious language schools alumnus with us today, someone who shares the value we place on building cross-cultural understanding through deep and compassionate engagement across boundaries and borders. Please join me in welcoming Brian O'Dwyer.
Señora Presidente, miembros de la Junta de Directores y alumnos todos. President Patton, may I be excused from my language pledge to be able to speak in English?
You may.
I want to first of all acknowledge and thank the faculty, the staff, and you, my fellow students, for this incredible honor that I have today after 52 years of being where you are. And particularly I want to acknowledge my wife, Mariana, who 53 years ago encouraged me to come to Middlebury. It was the second best decision I ever made in my life. And my brother Bill, who has always been an inspiration to me over the course of these years. I would thank them all for being here. And to you, graduating class of 2019, congratulations. Give yourself a hand once again. "52 years ago, I sat where you sit after one of the most pleasant and productive periods of my life. A summer in Middlebury, a year in Madrid, and another summer in Middlebury. I suspect that language schools were not so different then. In the French school, they spoke the language of love. The Italians cooked their way through the summer. We in the Spanish school literally drank our way through the summer, consuming immense quantities of Rioja and Cava. The Germans, they were known for following each rule with rigor. And the Russians. What can I say about the Russians? They spied on each other and on us. Now, 52 years later, you are facing challenges that I never dreamed of. The teaching of other languages here in the United States is on the wane. Fully 650 schools have abolished their language departments, all to the detriment of this country as a whole. Notice, I did not say foreign languages. For the languages we study here at Middlebury are every bit a part of the American heritage, as is English. Spanish was spoken in this country fully 100 years before Jamestown. Dutch was spoken in my native New York 25 years before the English landed. Swedish was spoken in Delaware, French in Louisiana, and at the time of the Revolution, German was the prevalent language of Pennsylvania. And of course, this doesn't even take into account the hundreds of native languages spoken on this continent for eons before the English conquest. In fact, there is no official language of the United States. Our founding fathers, in their wisdom, rejected all calls to make English the language of America. These wise men understood the very foundation of America lay in the diversity of its people, reflected in a polyglot nation. Despite this, at various points in our country, state legislators have attempted to criminalize the speaking of English, speaking of language other than English. Fortunately, on 2 separate occasions, the United States Supreme Court has invalidated the laws. Still, over and over, the movement to make English the exclusive language of the United States has progressed. In today's climate, it possesses a renewed vigor. You are the army of Leonidas, struggling with those immense forces of American exceptionalism that either overtly or covertly would divide this nation by trampling on the Founding Fathers' wisdom of promoting a robust and diverse people. As a proud Irish American, I am fully aware of the attempts of a conquering country to destroy that nation's language and religion. The same attempt was made to Puerto Ricans and Native Americans by our government. It is a proud testament to those people that those efforts have been largely failures. In today's age, the importance of computer coding is manifest. However, one of the many pernicious proposals in American education today is to substitute the language of coding as a requirement for the study of other languages. Those of us who have come to Middlebury and had the joy of reading Cervantes, Rousseau, Dante, Goethe, Tolstoy in their original languages have been fulfilled in a way that the ones and the twos, the X's and the O's, can never dream of matching. Nor is the study of other language a pure academic exercise. No. In this ever-expanding economy, fluency in other languages opens up unheard and undreamed of opportunities, not given to those who are unfortunately monolingual. I'm a living example of that proposition. After law school, my dream job was to be a trial lawyer with the National Labor Relations Board. It was, and is, one of the most sought-after positions of the United States government. Law graduates far more qualified than I applied, and I beat them out because I had one thing they did not. I spoke Spanish. My Spanish, I was hired and sent to Los Angeles, where I spent my time at the board defending Mexican workers from the worst abuses of brutal employers. My Spanish not only gave me the job, but it gave me a unique opportunity to better the lot of the poor and the oppressed. In subsequent years, as I returned to my native New York, my career has followed a similar path. I have spent much of my 45 years legal career in defending the rights of immigrant workers, documented and undocumented, both in my private practice and as chairman of the Emerald Isle Immigration Center, for which over 30 years has proudly served the immigrant community, no matter their place of origin or status. As recent immigrants with virtually no English, these refugees, both economic and political, were subject to the cruelest exploitation by abusive owners. I was able to speak to them without the aid of a translator, and thus form an empathy unavailable to others. This gave me the tools to be a better advocate and obtain justice for them in a struggle against the fully entrenched and powerful. Surely, my story is not unique. I know that many of you here today, like my classmates, will pursue the noble profession of teaching, whether in elementary, middle, high school, or higher education. And I can think of no higher calling than inspiring generations of Americans to come to love and to cherish the language of others. But certainly, that is not the only path to take. In today's world, there are many other paths where your work and your studies, and the studies that have brought you here today, will be immensely valuable to your employers, whether they be in government, commerce, or the professions. It is no coincidence that more than 2/3 of CEOs in this country speak more than one language. Those paths are open to each one of you in abundance. And if that is your calling, I urge you to follow them. But without a doubt, your journey through Middlebury was not solely about material gain. It is particularly fitting, and in this place, hallowed in our minds, the first American institution of higher learning to graduate in African American and the first New England college to admit women, that we proclaim to those who would divide us as a nation our personal commitment to the promotion of other languages. For we know that language unites and does not divide. It builds bridges, not walls. It communicates and does not isolate. It promotes understanding, not distrust. It seeks concord, not divergence. It fosters knowledge, not ignorance. It seeks acceptance, not bigotry. In short, language requires to love, not hate. The battle is before us. We are told by faith and by reason to welcome the stranger into our land, to seek justice. Yet we know the forces of ignorance and bigotry thrive throughout our country and indeed into the very heart of our nation's capital. These forces have caused the death by violence of thousands. We need only recite the places: El Paso, Parkland, Gilroy, Dayton, and far, far too many others to understand the destructive effect of their hate-filled bigotry. They cry out to be vanquished. And you have the antidote to those forces. You have the tools to resist. Through the sacrifices of the many who have brought you here today, you have the gift of language. If, after you leave here today, you choose not to use this precious gift and resist those evil forces, then we, your friends and family, and this, your college community, are but little advantaged. But I am convinced that each of you is designed and destined for a greater vocation. I am convinced that each of you will use that gift for a superior and more sacrificial service. I am convinced that each of you will use your gift to defeat those forces that seek hatred and division. I am convinced that each of you will leave here responding to a higher calling in search of the common good. When you do this, your path will be an example to all. Your career, a source of pride to this institution, and your life, a joy to your friends and family. The battle has begun. Let us get to it. I wish you good luck and Godspeed. Muchas gracias. Que Dios te bendiga.
Candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Chinese, French, German, Hebrew, Italian, Russian, and Spanish will please rise. President Patton, I have the honor to present to you on behalf of the faculty of the Middlebury Language Schools these candidates for the degree of Master of Arts.
And now, inasmuch as each of you presented to me has completed the requirements for the degree of Master of Arts, I have the honor, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of Middlebury, to confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts, with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities here and everywhere pertaining to this degree. Congratulations.
Please be seated. The director of each school will present his or her candidates individually. Candidates from each school will please rise when their director is introduced, and as a group approach the stage from the side aisle on their right. The ushers will guide you. Each candidate will be presented with a replica of the college mace, the Gamaliel Painter cane, by Middlebury trustee emeritus Churchill Franklin. Executive Vice President and Provost Jeff Kaysen will announce each candidate by name.
Will the graduates of the Chinese school please rise? Director Cecilia Chang.
华丽校长，请容许我以最大的荣幸为您介绍7名中文学校硕士班应届毕业生。现在，请您为他们颁发毕业文凭。
Connor Dewey. Sonam Laki. Jen Lynn Ilyev. Ibtihal Manji. Jade Chen. Evan Staff. Will the graduates of the Betty Ashbury Jones MA 86 School of French please rise and make your way to the side? Sarah Bukowski.
Présidente Patton, j'ai l'honneur de vous présenter les étudiants et étudiantes de l'école de français à qui vous venez de décerner le diplôme de Master of Arts. Ces étudiants et étudiantes peuvent recevoir maintenant leur diplôme de Middlebury, le certifiant.
Sorry for jumping the gun there. Okay. Sarah Bukowski. Kelly Cavanis. And the recipient of the Frida Durden Bambus Prize in French Literary Studies, Matthew Chan. Jennifer Edson. Miles Freeborg. Bethany Johnson. Elizabeth Malone. Benjamin McNeil. Stephanie Noel. Mark O'Neill. Amy Ramirez. And another recipient of the Frida Durden Bombas Prize in French Literary Studies, Julia Rhinelander. Naima Say. Corinne Sassin. Brian Schumann. Joseph Tissot. Angela Toussaint. Camden Villere. Will the graduates of the German school please rise and step to the side? Director Bettina Matthias.
Präsident Patton, es ist mir eine große Freude und Ehre, die Studenten der Deutschen Schule Ihnen vorzustellen, die soeben von Ihnen den akademischen Grad des Magister Artiums verliehen bekommen haben. Sie sind jetzt mehr als bereit, von Ihnen das Diplom entgegenzunehmen, mit dem dieser Abschluss offiziell wird.
Chris Pangburn. Christopher Power. Will the graduates of the School of Hebrew please rise and step to the side? Director Vardit Ringwald.
כבוד הנשיאה פאטון, יש לי הכבוד להציג בפנייך את תלמידי בית הספר לעברית שלהם הענקת אתה את התואר השני בהוראת עברית כשפה שנייה והזכאים כעת לקבל את התעודה של מידלברי המאשרת תואר זה.
Miriam Barr. Natalie Benjamin. Edith Ben Simon. Mirit Bouzine. Mayrav Cohen. Raphael Fadlon. Galit Geiger. Sigal Gershoni. Dmitry Izakovsky. Adi Rapeka. Jessica Solodkin. Sarit Choban Spector. Karen Yahel Ben-Haim. Will the graduates of the Italian school please rise and make their way to the side? And I get to do this one. Magnifico Rettore Patton, ho il piacere di presentare i candidati della scuola italiana a cui lei ha appena conferito il Master in Lingue Moderne. Maria Galeota. Javier Rodriguez Diaz. And now, will the graduates of the Catherine Wasserman Davis School of Russian please rise and make your way to the side? Director Jason Merrill.
Глубоко уважаемая госпожа президент, имею честь представить вам аспирантов русской школы имени Кэтрин Wasserman Davis, которым вы только что предоставили степень магистра искусств и которые поэтому заслужили диплом, утверждающий эту степень.
Austin Young. Kyle Kane. Caitlin Martin. Rose Patton. And will the graduates of the School of Spanish please rise? Director Jacobo Sefami.
Si me permite, le quiero agradecer sus palabras. Fueron muy emotivas y muchas gracias. Distinguida Presidenta Patton, tengo el gran gusto y el honor de presentarle a los estudiantes de la Escuela de Español a quienes usted acaba de conferir la maestría y quienes ameritan ahora el diploma de Middlebury College en reconocimiento de su gran logro.
Sean Ahern. Enrique Antonio Alcayaga. Elizabeth Benjamin Alcayaga. Lauren Biglow. Lara Cummings. Beatty Dixon. Martha Duran Ruiz. Mónica Flores. Kristen Glasheen. Michelle Green. Carmen Gregory. Brittany Hooper. Ashley Knazer. Taylor Lean. Timothy Libby, Jr. Miriam Pallant. Kevin Purdy. Kathleen Ritter Torres. Valerie Salazar. Edgar Salazar. Jennifer Sutherland. Chris Urban. Emily Vidal. Jessica Wigington. And that concludes the reading of names. Congratulations to you all.
candidates for the degree of Doctor of Modern Languages will please rise in place. President Patton, I have the honor to present to you on behalf of the faculty of the Middlebury Language Schools these candidates for the degree of Doctor of Modern Languages.
And now, inasmuch as each of you presented to me has completed the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Modern Languages, I have the honor, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of Middlebury, to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Modern Languages with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities here and everywhere appertaining to this degree. Congratulations.
The candidates will please be seated. Each candidate will be presented individually. The candidate will please rise when your name is called and approach the center of the stage. There are 4 candidates for this degree, all from the Betty Ashbury Jones MA 86 School of French. Director Armel Cruzier-Ingenthron will present them individually.
Présidente Patton, je vous présente le doctorant de l'école de français à qui vous venez de décerner le diplôme de docteur en langue moderne, Sheldon Hugh Huggins. Présidente Patton, je vous présente la doctorante de l'école de français à qui vous venez de décerner le diplôme de docteur en langue moderne, Ingrid Merrill. Présidente Patton, je vous présente la doctorante de l'école de français à qui vous venez de décerner le diplôme de docteur en langue moderne, Maria del Carmen Ramirez. Présidente Patton, je vous présente la doctorante de l'école de français à qui vous venez de décerner le diplôme de docteur en langue moderne, Ana I. Valdés.
Middlebury College trustee, Professor Emeritus Russ Lang, will present the candidate for honorary degree.
Patton, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, Brian O'Dwyer.
Ready?
Brian O'Dwyer, you are a consummate advocate for immigrant and human rights, a lawyer who has dedicated his career to protecting workers, particularly those who are undocumented, and a champion of New York's growing Mexican community and Irish American interests. In your earliest days, you were an undergraduate student of Spanish American literature at the George Washington University and then a graduate student at the Middlebury Language Schools in Madrid. You earned your Juris Doctor from Georgetown and your Master of Law from George Washington. And you went on to have a lengthy, successful, and accomplished legal career at O'Dwyer and Bernstein LLP. In addition to promoting the rights of immigrants and undocumented workers in your capacity as attorney, you founded the Emerald Isle Immigration Center, a focal point for the advocacy of Irish immigrant causes and a place of welcome and support for refugees from other countries. You also served as chairman and counselor to the Asociación Tepeyac, which promotes the rights of and serves New York's growing Mexican population. You helped open the doors of New York City public colleges and universities to all immigrants, regardless of their documented status. You were an advisor on Irish issues, including the Northern Ireland peace process, to the White House during the Clinton presidency. Your humanitarian work has been recognized by the New York City Council, the state of New York, the government of Puerto Rico, and the Clinton administration. It is now our opportunity to recognize you as one of our own and thank you for your commitment to our common humanity during a time when so many are trying to divide us. It is therefore my privilege, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Middlebury, to confer upon you the Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities here and everywhere pertaining to this degree. Congratulations. Everybody, you gotta go over here.
Pianist Kevin Paraiso will play the introduction to Gamaliel Painter's Cane. Please join us for the verses led by Daniel Foltz Morrison, and you can find the lyrics in the back of your program. To the graduates, I would like to add that the conclusion of this ceremony marks your entry into the family of Middlebury Language School's alumni, which is now more than 50,000 strong. We celebrate your scholarly achievements represented by the degrees awarded this afternoon, and we look forward with pride to your future accomplishments in education, business, journalism, government, and in all the other fields where language schools graduates continue to build bridges, make peace, and make a difference. We hope you will return in years to come to keep us abreast of your activities, and we hope you will offer us your counsel and take an active part in helping us shape the future work of the language schools as we embark on our second century. This concludes the Middlebury Language School's commencement. Please remain seated until the stage party has exited the concert hall, and everyone is invited to join us for a reception in the lobby. We thank you for coming this afternoon.